Hello and welcome back to the video on the rest of the debate and to another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. And of course it is the go home show before Hellinacell, so the final build before that show, new match added, and yeah, lots going on really. We got number one contenders match for the women's title, so yeah, like I say, lots going on. Let's get straight into it. It was a new day kicking off the show, and they said they were once again back on the winners list thanks to Drew McIntyre. The latter joined Kofi and Woods in the ring before talking about Big E still healing from his neck injury. The New Day had a gift for Drew, and it turned out it was a colourful kilt with the words Big D written on it. Sheamus, Ridge Holland and Butch came out and said that if they had one more match, New Day and McIntyre would lose. A brawl broke out and Ridge charged the ring as we headed for a break. And what did we do after that break? Of course we had a match. Woods was taking a beating early on before Ridge and Budge tagged him in and hit him with a double team strike. Woods was isolated but managed to tag Kofi in when he took Sheamus down with a Samoan drop. Drew McIntyre then went around the ring and took out Butch, trying to cause a distraction before Woods and Kofi took the others out with dives to the outside. Back after a break on SmackDown, Drew was tagged in. He immediately cleared the ring by knocking Sheamus and Butch off the apron before hitting suplexes on Holland in the ring. Butch came in and started unloading on Drew, who made the tag to Woods. The latter then hit a backbreaker on Ridge. Butch broke up the pin. Sheamus then took Drew down with a bro kick and Ridge took Kofi outside while Butch hit the bitter end on Woods for the victory. And yeah, this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I mean, like, it was decent, kind of just a rinse and repeat of what we saw last time with a different winner. So yeah, 50-50 booking, classic of it, classic 50-50 booking. But you know, the match was okay. But yeah, like I said, just kind of a rinse and repeat of last week, 6 out of 10. Riddle and Nakamura backstage on SmackDown. The former tag team champs said they were looking to attack avenging on the bloodline. Max Dupree showed up on SmackDown and said that he found an excuse to represent them at WrestleMania, and we find out next week who it was. Kind of intrigued, kind of not, because I've heard some of the rumours. But then we go on to Humberto versus Jinder Mahal. Jinder took some big strikes early on, but came back with a knee drop after taking Humberto down to the mat. The latter got some kicks in, but Mahal dodged a springboard kick before landing a huge kick of his own. Shanky was hyping the crowd up and dancing at ringside before Jinder stopped the match, telling him to calm down. The Maharaja almost pinned due to distraction, but he reversed the pin and picked up the win on SmackDown. Yeah, this stuff is just so weird. I can't get my head around it. 5 out of 10 from me. Yeah, it's just very strange stuff. Next up was Natalya versus Leah versus Shotzi versus Rodriguez versus Baszler versus Lena, number one contenders match for the women's title. Leah was locked in SmackDown women's locker room by Shotzi, but she made it out to the ring before the bell. The former attacked Shotzi and sent her outside before Natalya and Baszler wiped her out at ringside. Back in the ring, Raquel was dominating, but Baszler locked in the curfew clutch before they rolled outside. Shotzi then hit a massive DDT on Shayna before Natalya took her out. Rodriguez took out Natalya and dropped Shotzi on top of her before hitting a diving score through from the corner. Shayna came back in with Karafudu and took Raquel down to the mat before Natalya pinned her for the win. And yeah, to be honest, this was just a frightening reminder of the lack of depth in the women's division. The match was okay and whatever, but like, really, is Natalya the most established, best superstar we can have to face Rousey? Yeah, it's just kind of frightening, so it gets a 5 out of 10. Madcap Moss then came out of an ambulance and was set to appear next on SmackDown. After the break, he was out in the ring and said he wanted a big change after his attack. Moss said that he was no longer going to take Corbin seriously and promised to punch him in the face repeatedly for our entertainment. Corbin walked out and said that Moss was there because he missed his former best friend. The mayor of Jackpot City said he wasn't looking for a fight tonight, but Adam Pearce came out and made the match official. So yeah, we got straight into it. Corbin tried his best to stay out of the ring early in the match to avoid being punched in the face. Moss went outside and tossed his former friend into the barricades and ring post before the latter tried to use a steel chair. Moss took Corbin down and sent it back into the ring before unloading on him with a steel chair. Madcap then went back out and got the steel sets before hitting Corbin with more chair shots. Moss then wrapped the chair around Corbin's neck and was about to hit him with the steel sets, but a group of SmackDown officials came out and stopped him. Yeah, it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. To be honest, I don't know why we need to restart this feud. In fact, no, I'm going to give it 5 out of 10. Yeah, I just don't know why we need to restart this feud. It came out very out of the blue. I know we're getting ahead in the cell, really, but we've already seen it before. Just move on and come up with new stuff in Madcap, please, guys. The no-holds-barred match between Corbin and Moss was confirmed by Pearce at Hellinacell before we got the Usos versus Riddle and Nakamura for the tag team titles. Jay and Nakamura started the match and tags were made early on, with Riddle being isolated by the chance. Nakamura was back in and got a near fall on Jay before getting a big power bomb. Riddle was back in and got some kicks before going up the ropes, but Jimmy dropped him back down the mat from the apron. Outside the ring, Nakamura sent Jay into the steel sets and went for the Kinshasa, but missed it and hurt his knee. The Usos took advantage and attacked Nakamura's into his knee before a group of medics came out to check on him. The officials slowly helped him escape and get backstage, and Riddle was furious. The latter single-handedly cleared the ring as we headed for a break on Smackdown. Back from the break, Riddle was outnumbered in the ring, and Jimmy did the RKO taunt before taking a running knee. The former hit a floating bro to the outside before getting a power slam in the ring. Riddle got top rope DDT and set up for the RKO on Jimmy, but Jay ran in the stretch and always letting Jimmy get the pin. Riddle then set up for a top rope RKO on Jimmy, but Roman Reigns' music hit and Jay snuck in and tagged. Riddle hit the RKO from the top, but Jay came in with a splash. We saw Sami Zayn celebrating backstage on SmackDown after his plan for playing music as a distraction worked. After the match, Riddle attacked Sami and the Usos before the officials came and separated them as SmackDown went off the air. And yeah, this was a decent match, to be honest. It gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really good match. Enjoyed the match. The Usos retaining is obviously the right result early into this title run. The whole Nakamura Riddle stuff creates an interesting dynamic there. So yeah, on the whole, this was a very successful main event, I'd say. 7 out of 10. Overall this week, SmackDown gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I mean, like, it was an okay SmackDown. There were some really good bits, like the main event was really good. But yeah, like, especially in the middle of the show, there was just a whole load of bits that just weren't too great at all. So yeah, on the whole, it's probably not a great SmackDown. But you know, there were some decent bits and parts. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. So like, share, subscribe, hit the comments down below. Follow us, thanks for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel. Screen will be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.